bring you a 420 kind of inspired look. Yes, it is 420, and if you don't get it, then just look it up. I'm probably just going to go for a green themed kind of look. I don't know exactly what kind of shades I'll be using, but we'll just go as it is, you know. So if you're interested in seeing what I come up with, then just keep on watching. Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and dip into that green shade Gloom with a Morphe M330 brush. And we're going to sweep that into the crease area. Alright, so once I've got the desired intensity on the eyes with that shade, I'm going to go ahead and dip into the shade Checkmate from Colourpop. It is this pastel-y light kind of green shade, and I'm going to dip into it with the same exact brush that we just used from Morphe. Tap off any excess, and we're just going to blend out the edges of that Gloom shade. Alright, so once that part is done, I'm going to go ahead in with this Makeup Geek Cosmetics Foiled Eyeshadow in the shade Charmed. It is a silver green, like sort of duochrome reflect kind of shade. And I think it goes just perfectly with the pastel greens of this eye look. So we're just going to go ahead and use a flat shading brush. And we're going to apply this dry first to see how the color payoff is. And what I think I'm going to do instead of wetting it is I'm going to go ahead and apply it with my pinky. I find that applying the Makeup Geek foiled shades with my fingers are much better. Alright, because I'm never for one to just stop there, I'm going to go ahead in with one of NYX's Vivid Brights eyeliners, and this is in the shade Vivid Halo. It is a bright yellow shade, and I'm going to try to draw on a kind of more artsy kind of wing liner. Let's see if I can do it, hopefully. Alright, so that is the other eyeliner done on the other eye. I'm going to go ahead in with my foundation now. I'll be using the Nars All Day Luminous Foundation in the shade Tahoe, Medium Dark 2. And I'm going to go ahead and pump it onto the Beauty Blender. Pumped on like 3 pumps of it. This is a very full coverage foundation. Alright, so once that is done, I'm going to go ahead in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan. Now this is slightly different from Tan Sand. This has more peachy undertones to it, and I think I like this shade more, like, on myself when it comes to concealing. When something has a peachy undertone to it, it really helps to conceal darkness because it counteracts with the blue tones in the skin. Now, as I'm blending the concealer out underneath my eyes, I'm making sure not to bring it too close to the eyeliner just because I don't want to mess it up. And also because I kind of like that halo of green around it. Next we'll be going into our setting powder, and I'll be using an e.l.f. complexion brush to apply the Nye Banana Powder all over my face. Now, as you may have noticed, I avoided caking up any powder today with the Beauty Blender underneath my eyes to set. And that's because this foundation is a tad bit dry, even though it does provide a luminous and dewy effect. So you want to avoid like over powdering because it's going to look cakey and it's going to dry out your under eyes very quickly. Alright, so the next thing that I like to do is to contour my face, kind of bring some warmth back into it. I'm going to go in with MAC Cosmetics Shadester Contour Powder with a Morphe MB35 brush. This is my favorite contour brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the contour points of the face, which is like under the cheeks, right here. You don't want to bring it too low because then it's going to make your face droop. And if you do, you can always go in with powder and carve it out underneath. But I don't like to apply this too precisely just because I'm not really going for the chiseled look. Now, I'm not a huge fan when it comes to contouring my nose just because I feel like by contouring I bring attention to it instead of away from it. And using that same pointed tapered brush that we used earlier to dust away the powder from the face, I'm going back in and making sure there's no muddiness or patchiness. Alright, so grabbing a Morphe G11 gunmetal brush, which is like this eyeliner brush, I'm going to go ahead and dip into Gloom once more from the Pastel Goth palette. And I'm going to apply that to the under eye. And now grabbing that Morphe M330 brush, I'm going into the shade Checkmate from Colourpop, and I'm going to very carefully dust this to blow out the under eye. Alright, so to kind of bring this whole eye look together, I'm going to go ahead in with one of Makeup Geek's foiled eyeshadows. This is Starry Eyed. And I'm going to apply that as my inner corner highlight. And I'm going to skip out on using this on the brow bone. Instead, I'm going to go ahead in with the shadow that I used to set my whole eyelid before I started this look, and that is the shade Divinity, which is right here. As you can see, I've about hit pan on. Now applying a matte white shade to the brow bone like this instead of a shimmery one really allows the focus to stay on the eyes rather than like all over the place, and also it helps to kind of lift the brows and not emphasize any little hairs or... Now, in order to add some blush to the face, I'm just going to go ahead and tap into this shade in this Colourpop face palette. This is the Double Play palette, and I'm going to use that same complexion brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that to the cheeks. Alright, so one of the last things we'll be doing with this look is adding highlight and the lips, and then I'm going to be adding lashes off camera, of course. I think I'm going to go into the Nicole Gurriero Glow Kit for this one, and I want to kind of use this Glow Getter shade right here, which is this warm gold neutral shade. This is a very beautiful palette that provides 6 versatile shades that I think would suit a whole spectrum of skin tones. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit to the center of the forehead. I wanted to kind of tone down the lips a little bit, so I'm going to be going in with MAC's matte lipstick. This is the Tube lipstick in the shade Persistence. Alright, so that is my look done. Alright, so real quick before I head out, I just wanted to let you guys know that if you do find out what 420 is and then realize that you don't really quite agree with it, first of all, it's not an actual holiday. I don't really know why 420 is a thing. It's just like any other day, the same as 364 days of the year. But if you don't agree with it, by me doing this tutorial, I do not support it, nor by me saying this does it mean that I do not support it. It's just that I like to take a neutral stance on these kinds of things, and I just wanted to do this as like kind of like from an artistry kind of standpoint, other than kind of like, oh, let's celebrate 420 kind of thing, you know what I mean? So if you enjoyed what I had to do, what kind of look I came up with, I would really appreciate if you liked, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.